Hello everyone, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving holiday. First of all, I'd like to apologize for the delay in the production of the Sim Racers with Disabilities show. I run into a few snags with the ongoing computer upgrade along with job and life issues. Yet, I'd like you all to know that we are putting a great effort into making this particular topic more informative and interactive than I had originally planned. I'm also working on introducing some guest appearances. I'd also like to give a big shout out to Glenn Sidman of Simability for his assistance in this particular project. And last but not least, David Howes and Bruiser Munster for their technical and motivational support. On today's show, I'll be talking about my experience and thoughts on the Fanatec Clubsport version 3 pedals, as these are part of the upgrade to my computer rig, in which I've upgraded to an Intel i7-6700K processor with an MSI Z170A PCMate motherboard, which I got as a bundle from Tiger Direct. Also from Tiger Direct, 16 gigs of crucial ballistic memory, and an MSI GTX 970 Gaming 4G video card, which I did have one issue where apparently I had not taken into account the height of this video card, and the GTX 90 card is just a bit too high for me to properly secure the cover on my discontinued Thermotaki Bach HTPC case in which I've modded. I don't consider that a big deal. I'll figure out something short of flattening out the heat tubes with a hammer. In any event, I don't plan on getting rid of either the card or the case at this time. And so far, I'm highly satisfied with the upgrade results. And without going into a lot of long, drawn-out technical babble, let me just say this. My Windows Experience rating went from 5.8 to a 7.8, in which 7.9 is the highest rating. With the SSD or solid-state drive, all my applications start up, open, and install very fast. Now, I really didn't need to do this upgrade for the gaming that I do, which is mostly iRacing and sometimes a set of Corsa, Race Room Experience, or one of the many titles from Symbian. No, what I really needed the upgrade for is for live streaming and streaming during gameplay. Not so much the memory or SSD drive, but the computer processor, which is needed mostly for the encoding process during the streaming and editing. So, with that said, let's get back to the Fanatec V3 pedals. This upgrade was originally not part of my upgrade plan. However, I noticed that my original version 1 pedals were beginning to become somewhat erratic. In other words, I kept having to calibrate them in iRacing, and sometimes I would have to press the pedals really hard to brake, which after a long period of racing left me with terrible lower back pain. Later on, I found that this was most likely due to the load cell, which could be replaced for $19.95. Yet, the Fanatec V3 pedals look so appealing for the price range that I thought I'd give them a try. Now, if you're looking for an unboxing, you can forget that. I don't do unboxing. But if you really want to see what the unboxing was like, here, that's for all you product pervs out there. There are many unboxing videos out there on YouTube of these pedals, and that's pretty much all it is. A video of someone taking stuff out of a box like it's a magic show. However, I don't see very many reviews posted of the version 3 pedals. Now, about these pedals, Fanatec touts in their Fanatec Clubsport version 3 introduction that these are the ultimate high-end pedals for racing simulations on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. There was a post made that refuted that statement, saying, do you really think your high-end pedals are in the same category as other sets such as the HE Ultimates, the HPP PRX, the Emery Edmonds, or even main performance PC's Sim pedals? He goes on to say, I like your pedal systems. Don't get me wrong, but to say they're high-end might be a stretch in my honest opinion. Well, those other pedals mentioned are certainly high-end pedals, but they're also like 4 to 6 times the price of the Clubsport pedals. In my honest opinion, these are high-end pedals without a doubt. I say that because of the craftsmanship, the durability and quality feel, the features that you don't find in many other pedal sets, the improvements made since the version 1 release, plus the fact that they're compatible with PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. I think calling them the ultimate high-end pedals may be quite a stretch. However, at this point I must say that they are truly the ultimate in their price range. Now, I was on the fence on whether I'd get the Thrustmaster T3 PA Pro pedals, and even begun the purchase process until I found that you still need a Thrustmaster wheelbase, or you had to spend another $70 for after adapters just to hook them up to the USB port. Well, I quickly canceled that order. I think I got a little confused with add-on and standalone. So let's get this straight. The Thrustmaster T3 PA Pro pedals are add-on. Only with an additional aftermarket adapters can they be made standalone. If the Thrustmaster pedals had been standalone, you would be looking at a whole nother review. And I don't really see why Thrustmaster can't, or rather does not, supply a USB adapter cable for these pedals. Now, the Clubsport pedals can be used as standalone and comes with the necessary cables to make that happen. And of course, they're compatible with both versions of the Clubsport wheelbase. Most of the features include a 90 kilogram adjustable load cell, which is supposedly extremely durable and more precise than the version 2 pedals. Of course, I guess you all know by now that the load cell is supposed to give you a more realistic brake feel than the potentiometer. And, well, these new pedals now offer a 12-bit resolution, and that is attributed to the completely revised magnetic hall sensors of the gas and clutch pedals, giving you 4 times the resolution of the version 2 pedals. And one of my favorite features are the new D-shaped pedal plates and pedal extensions. The new extensions now allow you to adjust the angle of the pedal plate and that of the entire pedal arm. The newly designed brakes allow you to adjust the stiffness and the travel of the brake pedal without using any tools. There's also vibration motors on both the gas and the brake pedal. On the gas to simulate rear wheel spin, and on the brake to simulate ABS and indicate locking tires. Personally, I feel that the vibration motors are just a bit gimmicky. I've never really felt anything from those motors, and many times I wonder if they're really working. I think if you're going to do something like this, a piston type device, something like that of the butt kicker would be more effective. So here's the raves, things I like, positive stuff, and what I've experienced with these pedals. Number 1, loss of sleep. Number 2, waking up with major leg cramps from banging on these things for like the past few days. Yes, I was for the past few days I was on my rig putting these bad boys to the test. I started out with the Skip Barber car and immediately noticed that even though I wasn't getting the top time, that I found I was much more competitive. Some of the other cars, like the Corvettes and the Cadillac, were at first kind of difficult to drive. With my version 1 pedals, are now way easier to control. And I could keep up fairly good and have a steady pace with more of the average drivers, where before it seemed like everyone could pass me with ease. Possibly because it was a lot easier to modulate the brakes into and sometimes out of a curve. The precision of these pedals are very nice. I found myself recovering from slip slides and general driving errors a lot easier. The pedals have a nice, fairly realistic feel to them. The gas pedals seem to have just the right amount of resistance when pressing them. The clutch definitely feels a bit more like a clutch in a regular car. And the brakes are most certainly an improvement over the version 1 pedals that I have. The brake adjustment is actually the only thing I've adjusted so far, because I kind of like my pedals with less travel and sort of stiff. Now, all of the pedals are capable of some type of adjustment, so I see no reason why a person wouldn't be able to tweak these pedals to their liking. Now, I had the version 1 Clubsport wheelbase, so when I upgraded the firmware and downloaded the latest software drivers, this added more functionality by also allowing adjustment to the brake force via W wheel menu, which I really haven't tried yet because I just found out about that today while watching the Fanatec video. Now, with my version 1 pedals, I ran them in the inverted or the GT position. This time I decided to go with the F1 position on this set of pedals. And with that said, I'd like to thank SimSeeds for making that possible by providing the pedal mount. That's great because later, after I replace the load cell on the old set, I'll have a spare set which I could switch out and run in the inverted position if I like. You may notice in my video that I'm using the clutch. That's just so you can see the pedal workings. I don't usually use the clutch, so if you see any faulty footwork, that's the reason. Last time I put up a video with the pedal view, some guy was ragging me out because I bought a 3-pedal set and was only using 2. And really the only thing I can say to that is, hey, I spent my money on these pedals, so I think I could do pretty much what I please with them. Also, I think if you're looking for a set of entry-level high-end pedals, then I think the Fanatec V3 pedals would be a great buy. Now, the rants. Here's what really sucked about my experience. Not so much with the pedals, but with Fanatec customer service. I heard a few people saying that Fanatec's customer service has improved over the years, and yet I can't really attest to that. When you have an issue that you feel needs to be addressed immediately, there's never anyone available to talk to live. It seems like more like customer service than service. Case in point, the night I tried to purchase the pedals from the Fanatec web shop, I ran into difficulties getting my payment processed through PayPal. The first time I tried a couple of times with one card through Fanatec's PayPal, I got error messages saying the payment could not be processed. I then tried purchasing with the same card through my PayPal account, and the card was denied a couple of times. So I tried again through my PayPal account with another card, and it went through. So I'm a happy camper, right? Well, later on that day or night or early in the morning, something like that, I get an email stating that a refund from the card that previously went through is now being processed. I'm like, what? A refund? I didn't ask for a refund, so why is this happening? So I'm thinking, fine now. I'm back to not getting my pedals. So I tried to contact them with the phone number provided on the email receipt, and it turns out that the number is to some public accounting firm or something like that that never answered the phone. And on top of that, the mailbox was full. So I tried the number on the Fanatec site, never got an answer from anyone there either. Yet they give you an option to press a number 1 or 2 to speak with an operator. And when you do that, it goes over to another answering service whose mailbox is also full. I finally leave an email message inquiring why my order was canceled, and I left my phone number there for someone to call me back. That never happened. But a few hours later, I did get an email with an invoice number stating that my item was to be shipped. Great news, right? Well, as I checked the invoice, I found that it was being shipped to my job. I'm like, wait a minute. that was the address I used when I tried to use my first credit card that got denied. How is that happening? Card was denied, you know? Uh, so I checked my account on the Fanatec site, and I find they're processing the orders for 3 sets of pedals. The 2 that were denied and the one that was supposed to be refunded. I'm wondering what's going on here. By now I'm trying to reach Fanatec to stop this madness. And of course, I can't get anything but voicemail. I emailed them again about this matter. Did not get an answer at all that day. I called PayPal to see if there was, some kind of way to stop this. PayPal said that my card was denied and they could see where I was refunded the money on my other card, and they had no idea what was happening either. So they tried to contact Fanatec and could not do so. Well, I figure, hey, nothing's being charged and I'm okay and I just won't get a wheel. Well, the next day I noticed $300 charges to my credit card that was supposed to be denied. Plus they had taken another $300 off the other card that went through, and by now I'm fuming, looking for someone to get this resolved. Well, to make a long story short, that never happened. Not that day anyway. The day after, I get an email from Fanatec's web shop stating that I made a mistake and ordered 3 pedals, and that they were only going to ship 1 set of pedals, and they had corrected the issue. Well, that was great news, but I still had to wait another couple of days for the charges to come off of one card and to be credited to another. Now, I'm not saying that Fanatec is at fault for the credit card issues, but I don't like the fact that a company like this does not employ representatives to deal with ordering issues at least. And if they are employed there, they ain't answering the damn phone. I mean, we're talking about a lot of money being put into buying these products. I've even read where a few people have stated that Fanatec's customer service has improved. Now, I'm not sure if that just may be the Fanatec stores in Europe, but the service from the one here in America is awful. I don't like the fact also that every time something goes wrong with one of my Fanatec products, that I have to send it back to them, and I have to send it back to them for repairs, that I have to email a video to them showing them what's going on. And depending on the camera that you're using, this may require converting the video to a small enough file size to be sent by email. It's such a pain in the butt that I have this big beefy Fanatec SQ shifter sitting here that hasn't worked in almost 2 years. I mean, it went down just before I started to do a review on it. And I just don't want to be bothered with sending it back, because the last time I sent my wheel rim back, they didn't put my apartment number on the package, and the idiots from FedEx placed another shipping label on with the wrong apartment number on it and dropped it off at the wrong apartment. Luckily, the lady peeled back the label and found my phone number on it and called me. Now, why couldn't the people at FedEx or the guy at FedEx do that? And by the way, Fanatec shipping is all done by FedEx. I'd really like to see that option changed also. So now that my ranting is done, let's sum up my experience in general. My experience with Fanatec, the company, not so good. They do service their products as required, although not in a very timely manner. The service they provide to the customer leaves a lot to be desired. I think they need to have a phone customer service rep available, at least during regular business hours. My experience with the Fanatec version 3 pedals so far have been very satisfactory. In my opinion, I find the Clubsport V3 pedals to be a great buy and a quality product for the money. Yet if you're still kind of hesitant to drop $300 on these pedals, I'd wait for a few more reviews and maybe even a long-term review. Though it seems to be many unboxing videos on the V3 pedals, there aren't many in-depth reviews on these pedals. As a matter of fact, this might be the closest thing to an in-depth review of these pedals at this time. I'm not sure if this is because of the issues that many have had with some of the past products and people are waiting for more reviews, or if many may be a little dissatisfied with the service themselves. In any event, if you're looking for a great set of pedals in the $300 range and you don't really care about ever having to contact Fanatec for any reason, then I highly recommend these pedals. If you're one of those folks that feel entitled to call up the company and speak with a live rep about the issues with your order or technical support by phone or even chat, I suggest you look somewhere else. Now, if you like this show, please click the like button. If not, tell me why so I can possibly make the improvements where needed. And thanks for watching the Rig Magazine. See ya.